30 years ago, I made a decision no one else knew about. Not a fantasy, not a plan or a condition. If I ever married, atmosphere would be played, not tolerated, not accepted, because it mattered to me. Understood. The woman beside me would have to know why that song belongs where promises are made. She would have to feel the weight inside it and choose it with me. I met people, I loved people. I tried to explain why music was never decoration, why Manchester was not a city. I happened to admire why those voices, those drums, those empty spaces, it carried parts of me that no relationship ever managed to reach. They listened, sometimes they nodded, sometimes, but no one understood. Not really, no one heard atmosphere and knew what stood behind it, so the condition remained. 30 years, untouched, unmet, almost absurd. A private door I no longer expected anyone to open. Then, in the middle of an ordinary conversation, you named your favorite song. You did not hesitate, you did not know what you were touching. You simply said, atmosphere. She said, atmosphere. I said, I love you. 30 years of silence, split clean in two. She said, atmosphere. Nothing stayed the same. The answer I had waited for arrived without my name. She said, atmosphere. And every locked door moved. I want this chance more than anything, because somehow it was you. You asked what you had done. You laughed, you thought you had only named a song. I tried to answer, then stopped, had to breathe, because there are moments too large for the language available to them. I had not planned to tell you, not that night, not before we had even met. How do you explain that someone has accidentally spoken the one sentence you placed 30 years ago at the entrance to the rest of your life? So I said, you have convinced me, you are killing me, you have no idea what you just did. And still, you had not finished. You said that if you ever married, atmosphere would have to be played. At least that song, always that song. Your own promise, your own private law, made long before you knew I existed. She said, atmosphere. I said, I love you. 30 years of distance collapsed into truth. She said, atmosphere. And the future changed its shape. Two separate lives that guarded the very same escape. She said, atmosphere. No warning, no disguise. I had searched an entire lifetime. Then recognition looked me in the eyes. Do not call that a shared taste. Do not reduce it to compatibility. This was not two people liking the same record. This was the same impossible condition carried through two different lives. The same song, reserved for the same threshold, the same meaning, placed beside the same promise. Without agreement, without rehearsal, without either of us knowing the other was out there. Coincidence is too small a word. Coincidence does not spend decades building identical doors in separate houses. Coincidence does not wait until two damaged people have almost stopped expecting anything, then place the same key in both their hands. Maybe we should be careful. Maybe we should say, this is too much, too soon, too dramatic. Maybe we should pretend that recognition is only excitement and that the body has the final vote. But some things do not become less true because they arrive before permission. I felt it before I could explain it. Not destiny, not magic, recognition, the violent certainty that someone had reached a part of me I had never expected to share. I do not know what happens next. I know only this. I want this chance more than anything. Not because you complete me, not because I need you to rescue what remains, but because there are encounters that ask more of us than caution. Because there are people we do not see. simply meet, we recognize them. And because I looked around, so did you. There was no one else here. She said atmosphere. I said I love you, not as a promise, as the only words that made it through. She said atmosphere, and 30 years replied, the woman I could marry have been walking through another life. She said atmosphere, and every signal cleared. I found the bomb I thought could never reach me here. She said atmosphere, now nothing feels the same. If this is not coincidence, then let us give it a name. End is talking, life rebuilding. Don't worry.